What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I am back. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Thanks for being here, and yeah, it is good to be back. I've been away. I haven't live streamed or put up any videos in quite some time, and I wasn't really too into the live streaming because I just wasn't really feeling it for different reasons. But now, after this huge year, big year in video games, a lot went on, a lot of things happened. Most of it good, as we have received so many big games, very good games this year. But now the year is pretty much over, and I thought I couldn't let the year go out without going out with a bang. You feel me? I didn't want the year to go out without going out with a bang. Alright, so we're here in Dark Souls 3, and as you can see, we are no longer stuck on the stairs of Irithyll, I believe is how you say it. The frozen place with all those spin around guys. The spin around knights. Yeah, we were stuck there for like like 3 live streams, and now it's over. Yeah, we've moved on. I have moved on. I decided to get back on this game. It's been a game I've been working on for years. Didn't think I'd ever beat it. But now I'm feeling like that is actually probably going to happen sometime fairly soon. So, yeah, this game I believe is going to be beaten one of these days. Probably a very soon, very close day. I don't think it'll be today, but we're going to go ahead and just have some fun. And we'll just see what happens. Since Elden Ring I'm pretty much at the end of the road in that game for now. But I still have quite a frontier to explore here in Dark Souls 3. Man, Jeez. These knights with their little magical happy buff. Yeah, so, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Be sure to let me know if the audio needs work, and I will definitely jump on that. I want to make sure everything is being heard correctly. But anyways, yeah, welcome to the end of the year, I guess. We made it. Hopefully you guys have been busy playing games, as you should be. There's definitely plenty to play this year. So yeah, how did everybody like the year? This was touted as being the best year in video games in a long time. Do you agree? Do you feel like that is the case? Have you gotten everything out of this year that you were hoping for, or you feel like you should have? Did it live up to your expectations? Definitely a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about with games here in 2023. I didn't think I would be able to keep up with it because just the sheer quantity. I feel like I just have like a mountain of games that I still need to play. I mean, I've pretty much, I have all of them. I've started everything that I wanted to start, but I mean, the beginning is really just the beginning. And so, yeah, I still have a lot to play, but it's alright. You just gotta take things one day at a time. One game at a time. But yeah, I'm as far as this game, I'm way into it now. I wasn't really too sure about it. There's not really much of a story. At least not a cinematic story, but these games, it's about the environmental storytelling. And this guy hits hard as heck. That should have been a backstab. I'm dead. that scream though. Ah. And really, what's a good death without a good scream? If you're gonna go out, at least go out with a good scream, right? Got to at least scream it out. Don't go out with a fizzle, go out with a scream. You know, if you're going down, let it be known. Oh, the backstabs are such classic. That classic backstab. I don't even remember where I was. I love these enemies. I guess there's some misshapen dragon or something. And I think that's where, like, the dragon gets its power or something, because on that one dragon, like, one of those things is attached to it, and I killed it, and it killed the dragon, so I guess that's like the essence of the dragon or some shit. The essence of the dragon. Good old profaned greatsword. This weapon has stuck by my side through thick and thin. So satisfying. Alright, I need to get back up to where I died. I think it might have been up here. Yeah, what I really love about this genre is that it's just you and the enemy, you and your sword and the enemy, and there's nothing really getting in the way. And I think once you realize that it's more about environmental storytelling and it's more about the combat and the weapons, then the lack of there being a cinematic story is, it actually complements the feel. It's supposed to be like isolation, kind of. And cinematic stories are awesome, and all my favorite games are pretty much mostly cinematic types of games. But I think this genre is just set apart in that it's not really forcing it on you, or it's not just playing a cutscene. And I mean, that's a great way to tell a story, but the Souls-like genre just kind of does it differently. But it still has to be good, and the environments, they still need to be logical. So then it's the environments that can make it or break it. The enemy encounters. So it's still not, they're still not easy games to make whatsoever. I think it's the player that takes center stage. Be wary of liar. It's the player, not so much a protagonist, that is the star of the show. And in that way, it really is an RPG. It may be a hack and slash action RPG, but it's in that way, it does fit the sort of the feel and tone of an RPG. It's just action oriented. But whatever, it's not a genre that's for everybody, I guess, but it's become so popular. And it's nice to see it get the recognition that it deserves. And so then Lies of P, that's another game from this year that I'm still working on beating. I stopped playing for a little while because, I don't know, I just kind of lack of story and all that, but I got back on recently, and so I'll definitely be finishing Lies of P, which is a very cool game, excellent atmosphere. I love the setting. Yeah, great game. But let's pray at this altar of sunlight. And I think this is intended to, I don't know if this is like a covenant where it's basically let me offer this and see what happens. Covenant allegiance deepened. And so I think these covenants are like, because I have the blue moon one. Yeah, so it's basically, it summons people who are in your covenant. So okay. Yeah, see, in Elden Ring, it's just, you just have the white cipher ring, or whichever color it is. The white one, I believe, is to summon others to you. But I think I'm going to farm a little bit before we go into this boss room here. Yeah, so we'll see what awaits us in just a little while. We're gonna get ready first. It's a quagmire, so to speak. Quagmire required a head. And that's another thing that sets apart the genre. Someone says treasure ahead, but I don't think we're going to trust it that easily. But it looks like we can trust it. Titanite scale. I thought about getting back on Demon Souls. I may like to do that. I never beat Demon Souls because it's extremely slow, both in terms of the gameplay and just how the pacing of the game. Also, no story. But, I mean, environmental storytelling is good, but it's just so slow. It's too bad because Demon Souls has such amazing detail and visuals. All the technical components, like the sound design is amazing. The combat, very heavy hitting, gritty, grindy. It's extremely immersive in terms of the environments, but it's just so slow. Painfully slow. Yo, what's up, Super Savage? Welcome in. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, AGS, I'm sure he talks about me, and, you know, I'm sure he talks about other members. But it was, yeah, it's a wrap. It's okay. I think I'm good on that. Thank you for the like. Appreciate it. Hopefully you had a good year in video games. It's been a huge year with very, very many titles. Not the easiest year to keep up with, but now it has slowed down a bit, and it'll be slowed down for a couple months at least. Things will start back up again in February. But yeah, I'm just playing through this game. I'm trying to beat it. I decided to get back on here. I didn't really think I would, but I was playing Lies of P, and I thought, I've just been thinking more about Dark Souls 3, and I felt like maybe it would be a good idea to beat it. And I'm glad I got back on it, because it really is a great game. This guy is way too buffed. I never beat Dark Souls 3, no. No, we were stuck on that staircase in Irithyll, if you recall, for multiple live streams. But I did get past that, and now we are in Lothric Castle, so I am moving along pretty well. I think I got over that hump of kind of being stuck, so I think once you get past a certain threshold in these kind of games, it's like everything just starts rolling a lot more smoothly. Yeah, this is a long game though. I'm over 50 hours in, and I feel like I'm just still a newcomer to the game. Multiple playthroughs, and I might want to do sorcery and all that stuff. So I feel like this is the frontier for the Souls genre and From Software, because Elden Ring I'm pretty much done with for now. Persona 3 Reload comes out next year. You want to get it? You want to give that a go? Yeah, Persona is definitely a legit, iconic Japanese franchise. I did play a bit of Persona 3 because I did get that PS3, which I still have, due to a few games that I couldn't play on the newer systems, as many people know. And Persona 3 is one that I tried out. Didn't get too far. It's great story and everything, but I have a hard time with that turn-based combat, and what got me through Persona 5 is was the daily life. The daily life made the game so much more accessible, and it's newer, and it's just overall a funner game. Persona 4 I had a little bit better luck with, but I still didn't beat it or get really too far, kind of for the same reasons. And so as you go forward, I think it's just funner and more accessible. I don't know if the remake is going to change. It's not going to change the core game. But yeah, for Persona fans, that's definitely a treat to have that game remade. What a lot of people consider the best, if not one of the best, Persona games. So Atlus is definitely supporting their fan base, which is good to see from developers. To keep up the old games and not just let them get lost. So if you're a Persona fan, they are definitely taking care of you. A lot of the games are on Game Pass and everything. You got the newer versions. These Lothric Knights are definitely on something. And then Royal, I am a little ways through Royal. I did two dungeons. I got past Madarame. I don't know though. It's a lot to sit through again. The first time, it's all brand new, so it's worth doing. And then the daily life, everything's new, but like I don't think I can sit through all that again. Just too much. This dude. There we go. That made him listen. He wasn't listening, but that definitely made him listen. I don't like turn-based. Big Bro Heartache doesn't either. You two could bond over that. Reconcile your relationship. Yeah, Big Bro Heartache, yeah. He's definitely got a big mouth. I haven't really been on Twitter or X or anything, but I can just hear his reaction, like to the Game Awards, for example. That's another thing to talk about. The Game Awards this year was trash. I usually try to see the good in live streams and different events. And though a lot of years it does drag on, this year the whole show, I think, was for the most part just not redeemable. And I can just hear Heartache just losing his mind. I don't even know if I don't know if I would even want to see his reaction, because that would be probably very disturbing. I'm sure has been very traumatized. I should play Sekiro. Yeah, I did. I live streamed Sekiro. I have a few live streams of Sekiro. Yeah, Sekiro is also a game from this developer that I've pretty much wrapped up. Um, awesome game. I love Sekiro. Very challenging, but also very rewarding. Excellent game. I don't feel like I need or want to go back to that to that madhouse that is Sekiro without justifiable cause, other than to get up to 200 hours of playtime, which I don't really. It's not that would be the only reason, just so I can say I've played it for that long. I have like 180 plus. So that's enough. I don't feel like I need to go back to that. But this game, this is one that I haven't really completely conquered, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Sekiro is easier than Elden Ring. Sekiro is definitely not easier than Elden Ring. It's not easier than any game that I can think of. At least nothing big budget. And then any little platformers or whatever, roguelikes, those are pretty small, shorter games. Sekiro is long. Very, very difficult game. That's an interesting take. If you thought it was harder or easier than Elden Ring, then you must just have a natural talent for one game and had bad luck in the other. I'm not really sure how that works. But yeah, at no point did I feel like Sekiro was easier than Elden Ring or easy at all. But everyone's got a different experience. Do I like Japanese culture? Maybe get a nice Japanese wife. Get a waifu. Yeah, I've been looking into the Japanese language a little bit and trying to learn a few words and phrases. It's definitely a huge language. I mean, every language is you've got to learn conjugations and the right particles and then the vocabulary. I mean, and I have different apps and websites, YouTube videos. Yeah, I have become more interested in Japanese culture. Yeah, Japan is very cool. A lot of heritage, and but learning the language, it does take a long time. It takes a lot of study and a long time to learn. But very slowly, I'm making progress. If you want to date in Japan, you're going to need to understand the culture. Like they do kokuhaku, which is confession, like confess their love. So like a guy is supposed to do kokuhaku fairly early in the relationship to let the girl know that like they're officially dating. In the West, there's like a talking phase. In Japan, like you talk a little bit, go on a few dates, but then like she's going to expect you to confess and say like, oh, I want to start dating, I like you, etc. And then the relationship officially begins. And if you can't do that, like she'll think you're not a man and everything. It's very different than in the West. Like in the West, like you don't ask, hey, do you want to start dating and all that. But anyways, yeah, it's the cultural differences are significant. Yeah, check out some Japanese videos. She will expect you to know a little bit of the language, maybe 50% at least. But yeah, people in Japan are very polite, and I'm sure Japanese women have a lot to offer that maybe Western ones do not. You haven't beaten Elden Ring because the open world is hard to navigate. Yeah, it is a huge open world, and without guidance, let me put on a different weapon. A sword that's like as tall as a building. For these enemies that just refuse to back down, this is the only thing they'll listen to. Boom. This will make them listen. He's crazy high on some. Yeah, look at the light fade from his eyes. Yeah, Elden Ring is a huge world, and you do kind of need some help and guidance, and a walkthrough or whatever to get through it. It's a lot to navigate, and then how do you know where all the equipment and everything that you want is located? Wham! Oh, this sword is too much. Yeah, it's a huge world. They don't give you much help, and that's just the signature FromSoft style. But yeah, that does kind of come with the territory. It's just a lot you got to figure out on your own. I don't have a problem looking it up, but some people don't want to do that, which is totally understandable. And I don't like to have to. As far as like traversing though, Elden Ring, like the movement, the physical traversal is pretty good though. It's very smooth. Like going from this to Elden Ring, it's like someone put butter on the floor. It's like so smooth, you'll slip. You know what I mean? You like Japanese culture, but Sekiro just didn't appeal to you? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you might want to at least give it a shot. I'm pretty sure it's on some subscription service or sale by now. If you like the developer, I would say at least give it a shot. Sometimes the setting may not appeal to you, but the game still might. We're gonna let this guy be. I'm gonna go back and level up. You beat all the other FromSoft games. Yeah, I only go back to the PS4. I didn't do Dark Souls 1 or 2. I don't really intend to. At least not before getting through this. Yo, Shatter, what's up, man? Yeah, I understand I did leave an impression on AGS, but I don't know. I'm a loner, man. I'm not a socializer. I have no problem with any of the AGS people. I like the AGS cast. I never really had any problem with AGS or the cast members. I don't know. I feel like just all the arguments kind of got exhausted, and there wasn't a whole lot left to talk about. And then like there's so many people in there. Like sometimes I'm sitting there for so long without anything really to contribute. Like when the topics go to like basketball or, just things that I don't have a whole lot of background knowledge in, music and hip hop or comedians and athletes or whatever. So.
Speak thine heart's desire.
But yeah, AGS was fun. It was fun while it lasted. I don't know if I have anything really to gain. I'm just not really too much of a socializer. You thought I was a sexual athlete? Oh no, man. I'm definitely not an athlete of any kind, but I did start going to the gym this year. I don't really go too much anymore. Like, people at the gym are a lot of the regular members and people who are in there all the time. Like, they're very committed. Like, my hat goes off to them. Like, they take it seriously, and it's not easy getting into good physical condition. Did I hear what happened to Brad? No, I didn't. I haven't been tuned into AGS or X or social medias at all. I've kind of been just nose to the grindstone. But no, fill me in. I did not hear. Hopefully it wasn't anything bad. Let's see, we're gonna up our he got in trouble and he got a pocket ass. Oh no. Hey man, that's Brad, he's doing what he got to do. You know what I mean? If you feel like you need to get something off of Amazon to satisfy yourself, you kind of just got to do what you got to do. I think I'll level up intelligence. How do you attunement slots? How do you increase attunement slots? Oh, attunement. Okay. Yeah, so FP. I guess we'll level that up. Probably got it on Amazon cheap. Yeah, I mean, Amazon definitely does have plenty to satisfy your needs, whether male or female. Just participate in the gaming portion and leave once the topics are over. Yeah, I would leave after maybe a couple hours. I would stay for maybe 2 hours and then I would go ahead and dip out. But I don't know, it's just not something I feel like I really need to do anymore. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. Alright, where's the next place we're going? They missed me over there and just do a few episodes during the holidays. I just felt like I needed to do my own thing. Man, these guys do not go down easy. You don't remember? Yeah, Shatter. I'm not sure if you are if you changed your name or anything. But yeah, welcome to if you're new to this channel. Welcome to anyone who is just coming in for the first time. This is my first time streaming in quite a while. I didn't really feel like streaming anymore. Just thought I'd focus on my own little journey through this overcumbered, overly burdened 2023 of games. Hello, Adam. Welcome. You still can't kill Sister Frayed, third phase, or optional boss in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I'm not really sure about them. I'm sure there's some very challenging bosses. This game is not meant to, is not known for taking it easy on the player at all. Definitely not known for being an easy game. But I'm going to see if I can get into any PvP at all. I was trying to do it a couple days ago, and I managed to match up with one person, but I think people just aren't really playing this too much anymore. I mean, it was a good run. But yeah, popular game. I think a lot of people have kind of moved on. Do I think we reincarnate when we pass away? Some Japanese people believe in reincarnation. Yeah, so Shinto is the predominant religion in Japan, and Shinto has a lot to do with reincarnation and the other world, or the unseen world, or the underworld is the different translations. And that's why you see in a lot of Japanese games, like Elden Ring, is characters will dissolve and they go back to they say they go back to the Erd tree to be reincarnated. And just in a lot of Japanese games, characters don't really just die a lot of times. I don't think that Japanese people really believe in that. They just kind of know about the beliefs, and so it's just kind of part of the culture. They do tend to be pretty superstitious. There's a lot of folklore that is still pretty prevalent in daily life. Different times of day are said to be sort of more dangerous, or different times of night. People seem to think that they're kind of more vulnerable, and that spirits and things like that do play a role in different things. It's interesting. It's worth looking into. But there's a lot of like stuff with luck, and like shrines are important to Japanese people. There's shrines everywhere, and different animals symbolize different things. It's religions in the Far East have a lot of spirituality. Taoism and Zen Buddhism and stuff like that. I don't think they really believe all that stuff, though. They're not really religious like that, like Westerners, but they do believe a lot in like blood types, and how blood types affects your personality, and zodiac signs, and like they're really into that stuff. Star signs. So they definitely do have some beliefs. They do have quite a few different beliefs. We're invading. Here we go, guys. I don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but do I have time to put on this weapon? I wanted to get my spear, my dual spear weapon. We're going to see how this build works in PvP. Looks like we already got a couple enemies here. Where are my spears? Here we go. Yeah, socialism and nihilism, and I think nihilism is when you think that nothing is everything is predetermined and unchangeable, I guess. I don't know who I'm supposed to be fighting. One thing I really like about DS3 multiplayer is that it's not just some gang up bullshit. We're just gonna kill this guy because he's the most annoying. He just wants to roll around back and forth. Don't be attacking me, bro. He just wants to roll. I think he's the host. Ah, shit, I got stuck on a giant, man. Fuck that. See, in this game, you can't roll out of the way. Alright, let me check these comments. Couldn't really read in the combat. DS3 doesn't let you roll through enemies or people. Yeah, blood type is important to Japanese people. And then like in like South Korea, like the MBTI, the personality system, like everybody knows, oh, I'm an ENTP or whatever. Like Americans are aware of the MBTI, but they're not really like everyone just knows what theirs is. So they just have a different kind of approach to spirituality. What's my go-to snack for gaming? I don't really eat while I'm playing. I usually just, like, I'll eat dinner. I don't really feel like I have a gaming snack or anything. Let me get a good weapon on here. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to really have a specific snack. Do I snack before I play? I mean, I just eat when I'm hungry, basically. Like I might eat something before, after, or during. You know, I'll put the controller down, go make some food, and kind of just go back and forth. I don't buy snacks types of foods too much, like chips and crackers very much. You know, I kind of just wait until I eat dinner to eat anything. Or I'll eat breakfast. I'm a breakfast person. Some people don't really eat breakfast. Or I might not if I don't have the time in the morning. But if so, like, I might like to make some French toast, for example. French toast is lit. Especially when you get the right bread. The right bread makes a big difference in your French toast. The right bread is definitely important. But yeah, I don't really. I do eat. I like apples, popcorn. I like popcorn. That's a good snack. I'd make popcorn a lot. Put some butter on it or whatever, different seasonings. Come on. Ah! Come on, don't kill me before I invade. There we go. Yeah, popcorn is good. Maybe make a bowl of popcorn, watch some anime. If I do decide to watch it, which is not that much. Or maybe, I might like to watch a YouTube video or whatnot. But what's your guys' favorite games of the year? It's the end of the year. Hopefully you had a chance to play everything you wanted to, or you're working on it. What is everybody's favorite games? All right, well, we killed the host in that one after he dodged around everywhere. Did I see the new Miyazaki movie, The Boy and the Heron? No, I haven't. I haven't really. I'm really just casual with anime. I'm not really. I haven't really been following it too closely. I've been watching a couple different like little comedy series. But the movies, I haven't gotten too into it. But if it's good, then I will check it out. I'm not sure where you can watch it on. I have Crunchyroll at the moment. You've been playing old games, can't remember what you liked. Yeah, they do blend together. Sometimes you got to go back and bust out the old games, just like this one. Old games definitely still have their place amongst the new ones. You might go back and give a game another try that you didn't beat, or just come back to it for old time's sake. Old games definitely have a place. The new Studio Ghibli movie is a mind trip. Yeah, I might have to check that out. I don't know. It's just, I feel like I got so much to play. Anime, I kind of just watch it just to pass the time. If I don't feel like playing anything, I do wish I was a little bit more into it though. I don't think I want to get another subscription service, especially like Netflix, which is kind of expensive. Maybe. I don't know. I'll see. You beat Pikmin 1 recently. Yeah, and I never heard of Pikmin until like some kid at this I was talking to, he had gotten a Switch and he was really into Pikmin 4. And I was like, so what games do you play on your Switch? And he's like, Pikmin 4. And I was like, what? And he was like, Pikmin 4. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, never heard of it. I don't play Nintendo, but I guess it's very popular over there. I looked at the gameplay. Not for me, but yeah, very popular game. Pikmin 1, that's definitely got to be pretty old. That has definitely got to be an old game if we're on... I'm done. Oh, or not. That has definitely got to be an oldie. Yeah, that kind of game, Pikmin, doesn't look like it would appeal to me. But everyone's into something different. Nothing wrong with everyone having different tastes. What anime did I watch? I finished Tomo-chan's a Girl, which was just so good. Very charming, really, really funny. Hopefully they'll get another season. I'm not sure if they will. But yeah, Tomo-chan's a Girl is very cool. Popular show. And then Dress Up Darling, the smash hit, very popular series. My Dress Up Darling. Hopefully that will get another season. A lot of animes just get one season. But yeah, that was really good. And then currently I'm watching Girlfriend, which is also so funny. And you know, with Japanese entertainment, they're not shy about female characters, we'll just say. So definitely plenty to enjoy in that regard. Yeah, Girlfriend is fun. It's about this guy who's dating multiple girls, you know, your typical anime situations. Pikmin 1 came out soon after the GameCube. Yeah, it's definitely a classic then. If it came out after the GameCube, that is definitely a classic. I want to get more into sorcery. I don't see anyone really using it. Or I guess it's just called magic. Excuse me, it's just called magic in this game. But I got invaded by one of the AI characters, and like the magic, it can be very powerful in this game. I've just never really used it. Yeah, the GameCube, the PS2 era. A lot of those games, it is pretty challenging to go back to. Yeah, those are definitely some old classics. It was created by Shigeru Miyamoto, the Mario guy. It just started taking off with 4. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I had never heard of Pikmin until Pikmin 4. There's definitely not too many people playing this game anymore. Which isn't surprising. Like, I think it's coming up on... It's been out for 8 years. Yeah, this is newer than Bloodborne. Bloodborne will be having its 10th anniversary in not very long, and this game. It's crazy. I think the oldest game that I would still play to this like regularly, or that I would be willing to keep playing in, is probably like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I was playing some of the old Splinter Cells not too long ago, maybe a year ago. Yeah, I was playing Chaos Theory, I think earlier this year. Still really good. So far ahead of its time. But yeah, old games are difficult, I think, to play, and just even difficult to access. Old games are the platforms change, and it's hard to even figure out a way to play them. Yeah, time is not kind to old video games. Or any video games. Paper Mario from the N64. Yeah, I've heard of Paper Mario. There's a couple Japanese games. Like, I've been getting into Muso games. If you don't know, Muso games are just where you're fighting mobs of like really dumb enemies, and then there's usually like some bosses around the map, and the map is like a square, but it's divided into different sectors you have to take over. But anyways, Fate is really good. Like, I've been playing Fate, Extella Link. And then Fate Samurai Remnant came out earlier this year, and very good story. That's more of like a JRPG. Awesome game. Fate Samurai Remnant, very good story. I don't think we're going to run into too many more players on this game moving forward, sadly, but we're going to go ahead and charter our own course forward. Let's see. The anime OVA series Garden of Sinners. It's made by the guy that made Fate. Yeah, and I've been watching a little bit of Fate. It's in the universe connected to Fate. Yeah, like Fate Stay Night. I've watched a couple episodes. But anime, it's just I'm passively interested. Oh, whoa. Other player? Oh no, that wasn't. See, the ghosts of other players. They're so realistic. Like, sometimes you mistake them for actual players. It's easier to watch OVAs and movies nowadays. New anime isn't as good. What is an OVA? I'm not too familiar with the anime terms. Original voiceover? I don't know. I've heard that term before. I can't remember what it means. I know there's like, I think it's because I know Attack on Titan has, I think they're called OVAs, like those ones that go direct to DVD. Those extra episodes. It's a direct-to-home movie. Stands for Original Video Animation. Yeah, I don't know. I found the anime that I've been watching to be entertaining. Anime has a huge history. I mean, it's a gigantic library of anime, and there's just so many different eras, creators, and studios. You know, it's really a whole world. Man, these guys keep healing. Like, I've also watched a little bit of Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket is, I've only seen a couple episodes, but it's a newer series. Like, there is the old one, but I'm watching the newer one. And yeah, it does have some beautiful animation. I like how they're not so afraid of offending people in anime. They don't have the Western agenda, and they don't have to worry about the political correctness. Like, there is political correctness in everyday life in Japan massively because of manners and everything are so important. But in entertainment, it's like they don't really have to abide by any of that. It's like the opposite of the West, especially in America, where people have like very few standards in real life, and respect is not really valued very much, unfortunately. But then in entertainment, it's like everything's got to be on its best behavior. Yeah, it's just a whole different society. Alright, we're gonna move on up through our current dungeon here, Lothric. You only saw one of the first couple episodes of the original Fruits Basket and heard it's a classic. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. That's what I've heard. Yeah, and then there's the classic animes, 90s animes and everything. Like Slam Dunk, I think it's called, is very classic. But the new series is really good so far. I've only seen a couple episodes, but it's very good. Of Fruits Basket. Here we go with the baddie. Oh, this is... Damn! Gotcha. The closest thing you can remember enjoying is Claned. Yeah, anime has a huge history. It's one thing I wish I was kind of got more into. Like, that's one of my biggest regrets, is that I just never really became an anime fan. It's not too late, but it's just not really. I feel like I need to be in the driver's seat. I don't know if I'll ever be a huge anime watcher. So it's, you know, you can't do it all. Like, I can't even really keep up with all these games. I got this, I gotta finish Lies of P. And now I gotta think about the DLC for this game. So much. But games are supposed to be fun, and I try to have the best time I can. You can only do so much in one day. One of the standout games for me this year has been Alan Wake 2. I love Alan Wake 2. Didn't like it much the first time. I didn't really understand what kind of game it was. Didn't understand a lot of the puzzles and everything, but now that I can appreciate the narrative, I'm on my third playthrough, and it's very, very amazing. The narrative, especially. Alan Wake 2, some people said it's overrated because it had such a big presence at the Game Awards. But in terms of sales, it doesn't sound like it sold too much, which Remedy games kind of they gain popularity over time. I almost killed both those guys. I turned the charge to the other guy. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, and being able to understand anime spoken in the original language is one motivation of learning Japanese, because with subtitles, like there's just so much in Japanese that does not translate, and does not have an English equivalent. And there's so many words and phrases, so many words that have like an entire meaning of like a sentence and this entire like idea that in English, like there's just not an equivalent. There's all these like kind of umbrella terms that have a large meaning. And even though a lot of times localization does a good job at essentially rewriting characters for not just English but Western culture, it's still like kind of the Western version of the character and the conversation. And I think when you turn on like YouTube CCs that are not done by a person, that's when you really see that there is such a difference between the languages, given how a lot of the translations are maybe technically accurate, but just is not how they would be written in with like proper localization. And it's not really what the speaker intended to say. Man, these enemies are cray-cray. We went ahead and stirred up the hornet's nest. Let me get out my last line of defense. Let me get out the weapon that I use when no other weapon will work. Oh no, I'm heavy. Let me get out the weapon to end all weapons. Wham! Yes, sir. Oh, he still got me. He's still really powerful. These guys are so buffed up. Yeah, only certain phrases and words. Yeah, that's pretty much the phase I am. The sentence structure is totally different. Like a lot of times, they don't really use pronouns. Like they don't say I very much. It's like, it's a lot. It's a lot that's so different. And then the kanji, I think, really illustrate that. Like the kanji have such a long history in how different kanji came to be, and why they mean different things. Like every kanji has a history. And the website I'm using, it's called Kanshudo, and Kanshudo is awesome website. Works great on your phone. They have flashcards and everything, like digital flashcards. And they have essays like about a lot of kanji. They have a whole like 20, 30 page essays where you can read the history and like examples of where it's used in like Japan in real life. And yeah, the words and phrases there's a few that are important to know, but a little bit makes a big difference when you're visiting other countries. The native speakers will definitely notice if you learn just a few words. But one of the videos this girl, she does like vlogs and different stuff, and sometimes she'll talk to foreigners who are fluent in Japanese on her channel. And this one guy from England, he's fluent in Japanese, and you know, he can pass the JLPT N1, and he said, and he studied Japanese in Japan for a year after knowing a decent amount overseas. And he said that he can't keep up with native speakers at work. Like, they just talk so fast in real life, and there's so much slang. And I was reading that in like the comments, and a lot of people say, who are foreigners, who can easily pass the N1, but still struggle to keep up with native speakers. And especially at work, when you have to know what they're saying. Like if they're just talking casually, you know, if you don't understand stuff, you can still kind of just laugh and keep going. But at work, you have to understand what other people are saying. And in Japan, they're so detail oriented too. Meetings are like 4 hours or something, and they like to go over every last detail. And that's probably why in Japanese games, it's like there's so many tutorials. Like it's like death by 1,000 tutorials a lot of times. But I think that's just kind of the culture. All right, Super Savage, take care. And yeah, I don't know about AGS. I can't make any promises. But thanks for coming through and checking out the stream. Hopefully you have a good rest of your year. I might stream again before the end of the year. Maybe I'll choose a different game. There's so much to choose from. But yeah, take care. All right, so we need to get back up. I want to get back up to where I was and take out that weird treasure chest enemy. I like the jump attacks, like when you move forward on the stick and then do an R2. It's kind of hard to pull off in the middle of combat. Damn. I did not roll in the direction I wanted to. And these things are definitely a handful. Shit. Got me. Yeah, it's definitely a step up in difficulty from Elden Ring. Let's see, we're gonna throw a shield on. We're gonna go to my twin spears. these dragons that were here. There's this dragon that's dead, and then there was another one over there, and they were crazy. Dragons are a major repeating character and theme in From Software games. And then another thing about Japan is like dragons are not as big in Japan as they are in China. They're seen as more of a Chinese thing in Japan, but they do have their own version. Dragons are seen as a divine being, a deity that's usually associated with water. And Eastern dragons tend to be more serpentine rather than like big birds. Japanese folklore has more like spirit animals and yokai. Jesus statues are very, very, very common. Huh. I guess you can open it or close it. We'll leave it open. These buffed up knights are certainly formidable opponents. Guess I can't backstab this thing. Nope. Backstabbing is not going to happen with that guy. Man. Jesus. Oh, he got me. Goodness. Got it. Titanite scale. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, Japan was so highly influenced by China, as was every country in East Asia. But they did start to develop their own sense of identity around when the classical time periods of Japan ended. So like the Heian period, which was the last of the imperial, I guess, phases of Japan, where the emperor actually held power, and then starting in the late 12th century, the emperor lost power very quickly, and shoguns became the dominant, and they're the Bakufu. So in Western writing, it's usually called a shogunate, but it's the Bakufu, and they became the ruling parties for like 700 years. And it's during that time when Japan became more sort of itself and more like people recognize it today. It was connected to mainland Asia before the last extinction event happened about 12,500 years ago. It's interesting history. Definitely look up Japanese history. There's a lot more to it than just the Edo period and everything. You beat Dark Souls 3 with Dragon Slayer, Great Axe, and Exile Great Sword. Yeah, the axes are really cool. The heavy Great Sword is crazy. Yeah, the heavy Exile Great Sword. I'm not sure if I have the Dragon Slayer axe, but the Butcher Knife is really good. You throw it really quickly. Like the attack speed is very high, especially for being how long it is. The Exile is good. It's powerful weapon, but like I'm either going to use the Profaned, which has a really good heavy, like a charged heavy attack, or the skill, the special attack, the skill, the weapon skill, the fire and everything, and it throws enemies in the air, or god damn, man, my stamina. Or I will use the heavy greatsword, I think it's called, that huge one. But the Exile is good. It has good spinning attacks. The range is not incredibly long, but the weapon skill is good with the spinning attack. It does have a lot of knockdown, especially when you put on the magic weapon buff, which I made it a point to be able to use that. Weapon buffs are a game changer for sure. And in this game, they just look super cool. Like, it glows so bright. Should definitely send the enemies packing. But I gotta take care of this buff guy. I hit him with one. Still got a buffing guy back here. He wants to just buff the day away. Come on, let me backstab. Damn it. Yeah, these Lothric Knights are, their attacks are so fast. It's quite difficult to get around them. We're gonna put on the super heavy. The weapon that gets listened to. When the enemies don't want to listen, this is what'll make them listen. It's for when they just don't listen. When they just won't listen to anything else. This thing sends them all the way back. Back to where they came from. Woo! Yeah, his miss, mine hit. He tried to do the same thing I did. Yours did not connect. Mine did. I like how you can actually duck under it when you're doing that. Wham! I did not mean to do that kick, but I'll take it. Damn. I'll read these comments in a second. I got a dude who doesn't want to listen here. Man, don't be pulling out the staff. Damn. There we go. Let the light fade from their eyes. You glitched most of the bosses in DS3. Yeah, I mean, the cheese tactics, sometimes you just gotta cheese them, man. I cheesed a few of them in Elden Ring. Sometimes you gotta cheese them, sometimes you gotta look them up. Sometimes you get help from other people. I think as long as you're playing the game and you're into the game, you know what I mean? That's the most important thing. All right, well, I'm going to keep on exploring here. I think I'll go ahead and take off for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you like the video. I might be back to stream again before the year is over. And I'm out of here.